Seismic 7, Chapter 16, Part 2. But Nolan could watch shows on that tablet. It's got internet access. We can use it to call for help. I don't know, Nolan says. I was just watching previously downloaded stuff. I couldn't stream anything. They've got it locked, so only a few apps work. None that actually allowed me to communicate with anyone. Not even my parents. His eyes drift for a moment. Huh, Kinsey snorts. Child locks? My grandma put those on everything we own. I can get past them, no problem. Our faces light up. Where do you think it is? Raquel asks. Probably with my camera in Dr. Greer's cabin, I say. I'm sure she wanted to keep a close eye on any electronics. No one wastes another second. We all pound our feet across the camp. Dr. Greer's cabin is locked when we reach it, but that doesn't stop anyone. Raquel drags a chair over and Todd climbs up it to take on the door hinges with his drill. He decimates the wood, making hole after hole after hole. Kinsey goes after the lower hinge, sawdust flies, and finally enough damage is done that we can bash the hinges out. Then Nolan and I grab the door and yank it back, pulling it to the ground. There's my camera, lying out in the open on her desk, right next to Nolan's tablet. Yes, I dart into the cabin and grab the tablet. Do your thing, Kinsey, I tell Kinsey, handing it to her. She doesn't take the tablet from me, though. Guys, Kinsey slowly spins, staring at the walls. Look. I glance around to see what she's talking about, and my mouth drops open. Dr. Greer's cabin is lined with headlines from articles. Congress votes to defund all climate research. Third Arctic oil spill in as many years. Black rhinos officially extinct in the wild. Air pollution linked to spike in lung cancer deaths. Ozone hole back with a vengeance. Islands disappear worldwide as oceans continue to rise. South American rainforests drop to 2% of original acreage. 85% of species will be lost by 2045. A new hurricane status declared. 3 storms elevated to Category 6. The turning point for climate change has long since passed. This is the end. Well, I can see her motives, I say. Eddie lets out a low whistle, and we all huddle a little closer together. The air in the cabin is still, and my hair prickles on my arms. Hey, Raquel says, breaking the tense atmosphere. Just throwing this out there, but if Dr. Greer left all her stuff in here, don't you think she might be back for it at some point? And not just for her stuff, for us too. Remember, White adds? That is a very good point. They did say they were coming back to get their supplies. We can't stay here. Kinsey snatches the tablet from me and throws it in a backpack from under Dr. Greer's desk. Let's take the tablet and catch a signal somewhere else, Todd says. Yep. Kinsey agrees. I take the bag from her and everyone runs out the door. I hesitate, looking down at my camera. It's not the fun toy it once was. Now it's just a reminder of how I let my ego blind me. But yet, I still can't part with it. I put my camera and charger into the bag with the tablet, heft it onto my back, and hit the ground running, chasing everyone else. The herd of us clamber up the spiral staircase, not at all worried about noise now, and straight out the cave entrance. The sun hits me. It's morning, which means we were locked up all night. No wonder my body feels like jelly. I put a hand up to cover my eyes. This way, Wyatt says, motioning us down the hill. Wait, Eddie yells. Look. He points, and I walk backwards so fast that my back slams into the cliff wall. I wince as the electronics get jabbed into my spine. Down the hill from the cave in the open field, Dr. Greer, Miss McNamara, and their miniature army are getting out of their cars. No, Kinsey whispers. No way, they can't be back from setting up already. There wasn't much left to do, Nolan says, his voice grim. My fingernails dig into the rock behind me, scraping along its edge. One of the men looks up at us and points. They see us. No one moves. We can still stop them from pressing the button, Eddie says, hoarse. Puffy clouds float behind him, making it look for all the world like we're just out enjoying a peaceful summer morning. How? now? Todd asks. Eddie doesn't have an answer. We run, I say, desperation flooding me. Dr. Greer and company have already started walking up the main path, trying to shout something at us, but still too far for us to hear them well. We run, we try to signal for help, and we hope they don't set it off before we can stop them. You all better get back inside, Miss McNamara yells from the path below, her voice finally audible. It's about to get really unsafe out here. You all better give up now, Kinsey retorts. We're going to tell everyone what you did. One of the men steps forward and takes aim with his gun. Stop it, Dr. Greer says, forcing his hand down. Calm down. Just everyone calm down. Nolan, Miss McNamara calls. What happened? Why would you betray us like this? There are other ways to save the world, Nolan yells back. How can you think that triggering the volcanic version of an endless winter is our only option? You're too young to understand, Miss McNamara says. They continue their climb, and I look behind me at the sloping cliffside, wondering if we could manage to run down it without falling. We can't wait around for the countries of the world to magically band together and save our planet. Nolan, please, Dr. Greer begs. Whether or not you appreciate it now, you've been a major part of the solution. You should get to survive it. We're not going to join you, Kinsey stomps her foot. You'll have to kill us, and then you won't have anyone left to help you next time. You think you're the only kids we've got? Miss McNamara asks. The whole gang of adults draws closer, and I just want us to stop yelling and get out of here. You're hardly irreplaceable. If you don't agree with us, we aren't going to waste any more time trying to convince you. She turns to the man with the gun. Shoot them. Better than them messing up our plans. Kinsey's mouth drops open and her eyes flood. She looks like she's already been shot. Not Nolan, Dr. Greer insists. Guys, move, I shout, pushing Kinsey and leaping off the side of the entranceway. For a brief moment, we're airborne. Then we hit the ground and tumble down the hill. Raquel shoves Eddie, and Wyatt, Nolan, and Todd dive after them. Soon, we're all rolling down the cliffside. Raquel and Eddie are the only ones who manage to do so with any kind of grace. The rocky surface slams into me over and over, and I pull my arms and legs in, throwing my hands over my head to protect it. Run, I instruct. When we reach the bottom where the meadow is, I scramble to my feet in the grass, trying to ignore the fresh bruises all over my body. Now, do it now, I hear Miss McNamara screaming. Do it now! Wait, Dr. Greer shouts. We need to get our equipment packed out. We race across the meadow, their voices getting farther away. We don't have time for that. They're about to ruin everything, Miss McNamara yells. Give me that. There's one moment of complete stillness as my brain processes that they must be fighting over the detonator. Then a massive rumble starts up below our feet. The ground shakes, waves rolling through it. I clutch at a tree as we reach the meadow's edge. After catching my footing, I bolt into the woods, jumping over roots and dodging branches, trying desperately not to fall over as the ground moves under us. Raquel pushes Wyatt along, refusing to let him fall behind, and I can hear them arguing. They've set off the explosives. It's too late, I realize. Oh goodness, it's too late. In a blur, we exit the patch of trees, reaching the second drop-off point. Everyone pauses here, catching our breath, no one daring to get near the edge of the hill for fear of it collapsing from the moving earth. It's like an amusement park ride that doesn't know how to stop. I hear cracks behind me, trees toppling, crashing through each other, animals race past us, a whole family of elk bound across the meadow in the valley below. No, Kinsey shrieks. She falls to the ground, grabbing fistfuls of grass and chunking them. We all drop to the dirt with her, flattening, trying to hold on and hoping the quake stops soon. For a brief moment, the ground calms. Then an enormous, bone-shaking boom sounds in the distance. It's like a gunshot, but a million times louder. My eardrums scream. I stumble to my feet, throw my hands over my ears, and look southwest over the park. I don't want to see it. I don't want to, but there's no way to ignore what just happened. From a deathly dark ruptured hole in the ground, a massive cloud of ash explodes upward into the blue sky, and raining down from it are the unmistakable drops of glowing bright orange molten rock.